Subscribe our channel. Stay till the end of the stories for more twist and turn. Comment us about what kind of stories you like to hear. Another update. My 26 male wife, 25 female, caught in an affair with cousin. I don't know how many of these updates I plan to make, as I've stated before in my previous posts. Typing all this out in like my therapy, my way of sorting out my thoughts and getting feedback helps me to think through it better. The last update is in the description below and it contains links to the previous updates and the original. Well, today's the day we've decided to tell my son about what's happening moving forward. This is not a talk that either of us are looking forward to, but it was inevitable. I spent a little time on the phone with my STBX last night and her tone changed, something I wasn't expecting. At first, she seemed resigned to divorce and didn't fight me on it. On the phone, she was in tears at points trying to explain away this relationship with her cousin. She's trying to say now that nothing physical has gone on between during the years she and I were together, only random dirty texts. The storm is coming, I think, because now she says she ought to have my car because I work 20 minutes from where we currently live and she works an hour away. Saying it's needed because if she has our son all the time she's going to need something to get to work. Honestly, this old rust bucket doesn't have but 2 good years left in it, so I've contemplating just forking it over and getting a new car as I gonna need a new one anyway. But I also fear that if I start bowing to stuff like this now it's going to be my entire life. I've also through this come to realize that I really don't feel like leaving my apartment. She announced that she was moving in with her folks, so I think I might just wait until she's gone, which I saw on FB will be in a week or so, and then just talk to my landlord. Due to COVID he's had trouble filling some of his units, so he might welcome me sticking around. Had breakfast with my dad. He approached the topic lightly, but he's essentially telling me I ought to hold off on writing anything out that would obligate me to stay in my stepson's life. He's not dismissing my stepson, he always makes time to see him and spoils the hell out of him on Christmas and birthdays, even stops by with random toys. My point is he's a proud grandpop. His reasoning was that I should wait to see how my STBX behaves and if that seems conducive to what I want in my life. Told me that I passed on my chance to go to school to become a family man and that nobody in the family would hold it against me if I decided I didn't want to be a father anymore. While they all love my son, they don't want to watch me fall on your sword because you feel we'll judge you, and you tie yourself to that crazy family for life. More or less they'll support me no matter what I do. Maybe after I consult my therapist, who I start seeing in 3 weeks, I'll feel differently, but at the moment I'm adamant about remaining a father. After that, I took Sherry out to meet with Max. I didn't go along with her, had I, he might have a few less teeth and I'd have charged, so I basically just hung out in the Sonic drive-thru listening to music, buying a new drink a couple of times to justify my being there, and waiting for her to text me to be picked up. When that was over she was a bit worse off for the experience. He's blaming my STBX for the fact that things didn't end years ago and claimed that the guys he claimed to be having crazy hookups with were made up and part of some dirty story thing he and my STBX did. Assuming he's being truthful, it was just the one guy who is his boyfriend I guess, and he made up the rest as part of this dirty story thing. Sounds like bullshit, but honestly for some reason, it seems true to me. Sherry was quite devastated, mostly by the fact that he looked like he hadn't slept in days, didn't acknowledge his daughter, and hadn't said anything about her until she forced the subject. She was really upset obviously, and I brought her home. But she did a fine job keeping it together for the baby. I really didn't want to leave her in that state, so I hung around and helped throw a dinner together. Showed her how to make ghetto garlic bread and made pasta. I found out she sings a French language song to her daughter and I was a little smitten with that. However, I also noticed when looking in on this that Sherry actually has some of my son's hand-me-down baby furniture, which really brought home just how absolutely fed up this situation really is. When I went to leave we gave a parting hug that went on for a few minutes, no words. Got a kiss on the cheek and I kinda rode that high for the rest of the night. The enormity of my life right now, I can't even fully grasp. I didn't think it was possible to be filled with such hate and anger while also feeling that fluffy. 1. Hang in there. 2. Your pops is a bro. 3. Y'all are gonna smash. At some point. Stay hydrated, keep the condoms ready, do limbering up exercises just because. Cause crazy depressed F the world, sex is fantastic. Got a case of Frost Gatorade, a box of bearskins and room enough in this hotel room to do some squats. Let's rock all. Hell yeah. The devil on your shoulder only claims goading into action and is not responsible or liable for the following: chaffing, sore throat, sad crying, oh whoopsie baby, worse sad crying, regret, sailing into the wrong port, having your port sailed into, catastrophic crying, staring into the abyss, butt shots, or trip to the emergency room after alcohol poisoning. The above list is not exhaustive, as the devil on your shoulder takes no responsibility for the exercise of your own free will due to the Eden clause. You're welcome. Please listen to your father regarding the child. Okay, you love him, but you can be in his life without being legally responsible for him. Is this so hard to see? P.S. Once it's all sorted and done with, take Sherry and leave. Bonuses: you'll have a daughter then. See what I did? My old man seems to be right, everyone here thinks he is, and by popular consensus maybe I'm wrong. I'll discuss it with my lawyer to see what my options are. He's my little buddy, he's everything a father could ever want in a son, and next year if this COVID madness ever ends I was going to get him playing for a little league team. Already got him swinging a bat better than I could in my t-ball days. The hardest part of all this for me is that he and I have a lot of active father-son hobbies. I don't know why the hell I got bit with the bug, but I knew back when I was 14 that I wanted to be a dad. Kind of weird aspiration for a young man to have, but what I have with him makes me feel good, like I'm serving a purpose I'm meant to serve. A good purpose. I know he's just a little kid now, but I've been trying to raise him to think about the world around him, not just act. When I gave Sherry's daughter a bottle the other day, oh my god, I forgot how much I missed that lol. Yep, your father is right, you can have all those things you described without being his dad. You can be a father figure, but please do not attach yourself legally to that family and all its drama. Have the freedom to walk away if necessary. You may not see it now, but you'll be grateful later on if you listen. What a great dad you have. P.S. You'll have a kid of your own one day, maybe sooner than you think. This is the consensus that my dad is right and everybody seems to be rational and the logic is there, so I'm talking to my lawyer about maybe different arrangements where I'm not legally obligated but clauses. I'm not having any biological children. There's a 50% chance I pass on my disorder, and the child spends his young years breaking bones left and right. I don't regret being alive personally, but I would never willingly subject another human life to that horror. In my case, the disorder left me headstrong and defiant and made me want to prove I was just as strong as anyone else, but some people who have this just live in defeat. I haven't broken something in 5 years, and that's a record for me. Knock on wood, it would take some convincing for me to want to take that chance. Good job making that decision not to have a biological child due to a genetic disorder that can be passed on. I made the same decision once I was diagnosed with one. Same odds of passing it on, so nope. Just some advice, and this is just my opinion here. I'd hold off of hooking up with Sherry until after the divorce is final. I tend to live with Saya rules. Cover your ass. You don't want to complicate this, and you both don't want to have it thrown in your faces legally. If found out, one or the other exes, or both, could conceivably twist and change the terms of the divorces, stating you and she were having an affair during the respective marriages. It would look really bad to the court, and it would be hard to prove you hadn't. So, for both of your sakes and your children, I advise you to wait. Now after the divorce is final, go for it. You both got hit so very, and unexpectedly, hard and blindsided. You are both going through exactly the same thing, and you both know the hurt that's come from it. It's a crippling mental blow, and it's hard to start the road to recovery. This is a way for both of you to restart. Baby steps. Will this be forever? Maybe. Maybe not. But at least you are starting to try your wings again, which can be so very hard to do. Keep your chin up, and good luck. I, for one, am cheering you on. So just tread carefully here. Your ex was nice when it first went down. I am sure she was understandably sorry and humiliated. That being said, reality may be seeping in. She is about to be 25-year-old divorcee, with a child from a different father who is AWOL. She is now in a public incestuous relationship, and her family is on verge of disowning her. Let's just say she is filled with red flags that any future guy is going to see real quick. She might be realizing how hard it will be on her own. Now she is realizing what she is losing. I mean, you were literally raising her child who was not your own and taking care of her while she was fucking her cousin. She must realize how much she lost and how hard things are going to get. She might be trying to move into reconciliation territory. From the outside, and honestly like every other possible perspective, your soon-to-be ex-wife's situation is really not great. If she could just stop interacting with this guy, she'd be good. I've said a lot of negative things about her in these posts, and rightly so, but she's a good-looking woman, no debt, decent job, her own car, and she won't be at her folks long. I honestly hope she gets some help that makes her see that this gross relationship is poisonous as hell. I will never go back to her, and I'm mad as hell about what she did, but I'd like to see her get better and be in a good place. Thanks for listening so far. If story have update, we will post here. Like and subscribe to our channel for upcoming stories.